Hey there. We've got a 70's D-28 here, and I have worked on this guitar previously. It's from a repeat customer, and repeat customers are crazy people. You know, I don't know why they send guitars back again, more guitars to me, but this guy, the owner of this, has sent me quite a few guitars. Really good guitars too. I think this is one of the first ones I worked on for him. And it's got some problems right now. The bridge has popped off. So I told him to go ahead and send it back to me. I'd like to see it. I'm not sure why it popped off, except that I discovered a couple things which we'll go through as we take a look at it. So we're going to go through the process of evaluating this guitar. I worked on this in 2010. So 12 years ago. So it's been a while. Scalloped the braces, took the popsicle brace out, did an equi set, tuners, you know, the works on it. So a couple things I noticed right away. This is one of the very few where I scooted the saddle back on this bridge. I don't know why I did that. Let me show you something. I'm looking to see if I routed the original saddle, and I did not. I put it where it's supposed to be for intonation, and it's back on the bridge, as you can see. Probably what happened, now that I'm looking at it again, probably what happened was it was close enough that for some reason I decided not to scoot it. I would kind of think that that's probably about the time that I started transitioning to scooting bridges more than I used to cut them like this routinely. And then I got more and more into scooting the bridges. And this one is probably close enough that I decided to just put the saddle where it should be and leave the bridge in the original location. But as we've talked about it, we've decided to scoot the bridge back a little bit. So the bridge is coming off, and that's very obvious here. This scoots in there quite a bit, and of course when it was under tension, that bridge was popping up, and I could see that, and it comes in right there. So it's about half on, half off. Also, I think around that time, you know, I'm really digging deep into the memory banks here. I think about that time, Luthier's Mercantile white, their yellow glue, their instrument glue, had some problems with getting too thick, and it got really weak. And I suspect that I probably glued it with that glue, and found out, you know, later it got really thick and gooey. I'm guessing, glued it with that glue. So that would explain why it popped off. And sometimes it just happens, you know. Just happens. But I found something else on it. I've already looked at this guitar a little bit just to give it a quick evaluation. And we're going to go to my GoPro here at times. I've done this before, you know. I put the GoPro in there. And it's interesting. Where's my light? It's over here. Yeah, I moved it over to the magnet. Okay. So we're going to get my light. We're going to put it in there. I'm going to put the GoPro in there, which I've done before when in my bridge plate videos and things like that. And I will be talking. You'll get a double view. You'll get me talking outside the guitar, and then you get it inside the guitar too. But you get a nice view of inside the guitar. So we're going to use it. So starting up with the headstock, you know, the tuners look fine. The nut looks good. I see there's a lot of fret wear here. And, you know, I mean 12 years ago, you know, and these are nickel silver frets. These look pretty good up here. And I'm not sure I refretted this, because these are pretty low frets and they don't look original height, and we'll find out right here. So I may not have ever refretted it back in the day. 35 thousandths of an inch, you know, that's pretty low. And that just doesn't look like my job. Those frets are kind of flat. So I'm not 100% sure I actually refretted this. But in any case, customer says go ahead and do whatever you want to it. And I have done Evo fret jobs for him in the past, and he really liked those. So this is going to get a full Evo fret job. Let's take a look at the fretboard. Gotta get all my tools out here. And again, I've showed this before. This is a real handy deal. It's a notched straight edge. It's great for, you know, taking a read off of the fingerboard. See what's going on. Let's see how much relief it has at rest. It's really good. It's proud right here, meaning there's a gap right here. So I'm not gonna have to do anything to the fingerboard. Not gonna have to carve it or anything like that, sand it, shape it, or anything like that. It's got good relief in it by the time you string it up. And plus, when I put new frets in it, I'm going to glue them. And as I've explained in one of my other videos, when you glue with, you know, fish glue or bottle hide glue or anything really, if you let it dry before you string it up, it almost acts like a compression fret, because the glue fills up the fret slots and makes it really nice and snug and tight. And I have noticed a dramatic difference in keeping the relief when you use glue in the frets, in the fret slots. Let it dry, and sometimes I would even do this kind of thing where I put a little weight on the headstock, like right here, put a sandbag on it, leave it overnight, let it dry. And when that glue dries, it really acts like a compression fretting job. Not quite, because a true compression fret job, you use wider tangs and you actually kind of force the neck back, but it simulates compression fret job. So by the time I do that with brand new Evo frets, it's going to be great on relief. So I'm not going to have to do anything there. So straight fret job on that. What I noticed looking at it is there's a hump right here. And you can maybe see this in the light right here, but there's a hump, a ripple right there. So the first thing I suspected was a loose brace. So I'll switch it over here so I can use my hand correctly. We're going to take the little GoPro now, turn it on, hopefully the battery's charged. Looks, it's talking to me. So it's going in. Let's put my light in. And this way you can see what I'm doing inside the guitar. Hello there, little GoPro. Now I'm going to get this thing again. This is a spatula that I cut down, rounded, cut the end off, and it's great for probing braces and stuff. So I'm going to go in here and take a look at this. I'm going to push in right here, and boom, it went in. So we've got a loose X brace. And that might be part of the reason that the bridge popped off. Loose X braces happen, and I've talked about this before. When you do the bridge plate, you're heating that thing, and I always check for loose braces, but sometimes, you know, they pop loose later on. So we're going to fix this, and I don't know, I'm sure that's my bridge plate in there. If I end up scooting the bridge back, which I'm going to do, the holes aren't going to line up anymore, so I'm going to probably put a new bridge plate in there. Let's check this plate. Oh God, it's got K&K pickups on it. Ugh. Of course it does. There's the microphone right there. So I don't want to pull that bridge plate. I'm only going to scoot it back probably 1/8 of an inch. Not very much. So I'm probably on this guitar got to just plug the holes with dowels, and then save the bridge plate because it's just going to move a little bit. And I actually have ebony dowels for this purpose, so you got a nice hard surface. The ball end is going to be sitting on an ebony dowel. It's going to be really firm. I kind of wish I could take that bridge plate off so that I could access the braces better and really flatten the top. I'll make that decision when I get to it. I have a pretty good success rate with popping the pickups off without destroying them, and I also have spare pickup heads over there, so I can build a new pickup if I need to. I'd like to get that bridge plate off. I hate to ruin my bridge plate, but it's just a bridge plate. It's a black locust plate. I could see that right away. Let's see. It has my writing on it. Let me take a look, see when I did it. Black locust, 2010. And I didn't write the glue on it, which is unusual. You know, I started doing that later. That looks like fish glue or hide glue. I'm not sure which one. It's also, you know, it's not a small bridge plate. I don't know. Let's probe around in there and just make sure the bridge plate's tight. Make sure the bridge plate's not loose. If the bridge plate's loose at all, then we're definitely going to do that. So I'm going to reach in again. I'm going to probe the bridge plate. No, it's tight. Tight as can be. Let's see how far back it goes. This is another little deal I do. Take these magnets here. We get a magnet. There's a second magnet right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in here. And I'm going to use this as a, I can scoot it around there and see where it stops. And get a feel for that plate. There it is. It's right on the edge of the plate. Plate is not oversized at all. Yeah, see it's coming out to here. So the plate is covering this little ripple. Comes across right there, and then it's going into the notch. Plate's not big. You know, if it was big, it actually stops right there at the edge of that bridge. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Not sure if I'm going to pull that plate or not. I would pull the plate in a heartbeat if it wasn't for the fact that the pickups are in there. Comes to the front pretty good. So, got a decision to make there. Get up there, magnet. Ah! There we go. Well, first thing to do is take the bridge off, and then I'm going to see how much I can flatten that top with the bridge off. So, what else is going on up in here? I've got the trapezoid brace up in there. That looks nice. Black locust trapezoid brace. I've actually just used a scrap piece of black locust, which is fine. It's just a wedge in there. There's my name. There's the date, December 2010. And top looks great. You know, there's no cracks or anything. There never is. That's a good brace. Let's see if I can move the GoPro up here. We'll get a shot of that. Okay, moving the GoPro around. Trapezoid brace. Looks great. Okay, pull the GoPro out. Thank you, little GoPro. These are great GoPros. This is a Session Pro 5, and they don't make them anymore. I sure wish they did because they're great GoPros. Alrighty. First thing you do is get that bridge off. You guys can stick around if you want to. You can watch this process. I've done this before. So, let's take a look at the scalloping. I'll get my mirror out again. Make sure I didn't over scallop it or something stupid. Oh heck no. Nah, that's a super light scallop. Yeah, that's no problem. Scalloping is not causing this ripple, this bulge right here. That is strictly a problem with that loose X brace. No question about it. That's barely scallop at all. This guitar has a large sound hole. You see that? That's a half Tony. Comes to the edge of the rosette right there. You can see the fingerboard hanging off just a little bit. So let me check some back braces. Let me check the back braces while I'm here. That's always on my checklist. That doesn't cause any problems. It can cause some rattles and buzzes. That one might be a little bit loose. I'm going to stick some glue in that. Feeling for these. These feel pretty good. They tend to come loose on the bass side for some reason or another. I don't know why. Maybe being against the body creates heat or something, but when the back bracers are loose, they tend to be on the bass side more than the treble side. And none of them are really loose. None of them are causing any trouble. That one looks like I've glued it. I can see a little bit of where I wiped the moisture off. So I'll check that one again. But that's not the one that's loose. It's the one right here in the middle. So this guitar then is going to get new frets. The saddle is very low. And I can tell that he's cut it down a little bit too to lower the action. And so, you know, I did that 12 years ago, but it needs an neck reset. So after I get rid of all these issues, scoot the bridge, probably going to make a new bridge for that matter. I don't know. I might fill that one and recut it. We'll see. We'll see. Then I'll do a neck reset. I'm not sure I'm going to charge him for the neck reset. I know it's been 12 years, and I have a 1-year warranty, but I don't know. I feel responsible for it, you know. Maybe I'll half price it or something. Yeah, the saddle could be a little bit. He said the one issue he has is the intonation. Now, I suspect the intonation is due not to the saddle location, but to the frets. Like I said, these are really flat topped, and I don't think those are my frets. I could be wrong, and I'll find out about that. That's going to be for sure whether or not I did this. And I have the invoice. I'm sure I could go look and see, but I suspect the intonation is coming from the flat frets. They don't have a good crown to them. So the intonation, instead of being in the middle of the fret, is going to be on the front of the fret. That's going to make everything a little bit sharp. And I bet you that's what's going on here. Because that saddle is close enough to where it should be in pretty good intonation. The treble side is off just a little, 1/16 of an inch. That's not a whole lot, but could be enough. You know, the bass side is right on, but the treble side could be back a little bit more. So, what we're going to do that? Well, the first thing let's do is get the bridge off. So, I mean, my new shop now and everything is where it's supposed to be. Get it out of the way. And that's also a long through saddle rather than an actual true saddle. In other words, see, the ends are routed into the bridge right here. And I know I did rather than being able to slide back and forth. So if this was a true vintage saddle, you would be able to scoot the saddle back and forth, which you can't do here. So you would be able to put the saddle in here and slide it, and you can't because it's captured here. I quit doing that fairly early. That's probably one of the last ones I did. And I don't know why I did that other than the fact that that's the way Martin did it. So, but I do it differently now. I'm going to get my little kitty chain here. Had a question the other day about how close I put the heat lamp for these things. So I said about 8 inches to start with. So that's the beauty of this little chain right here. You can put the heat lamp in all kinds of different places. So I'm going to set it up here. And that's way too close. This is the first time I've used it, so I don't know how much sag it's going to give. But that's about right there. I'm going to get the rest of the chain out of the way. Clip it back up there. And basically it's about that. It's not even that. You see, there you go. So a fist width, you know. Put that on. This should come off fairly easy because it is already loose. I should plug it in, shouldn't I? Help if we would plug an electric thing in. I didn't get that far the other day. There we go. Look at that. And we have heat. Now, put the cord up here. And what's great about these kitty chains is that I can clip in up here. So I've got the cord clipped in. It's out of the way. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Much tighter fitter on the bridge now. Getting rid of that. Okay, we'll let that sit, and that's what we do. So that's probably closer than 8 inches now, isn't it? Where's my tape measure? I don't know where my tape measure is, but here's a ruler. Centimeters. Sorry guys, you're going to have to convert here. 8 centimeters. So you have to do your conversion, but that's how far it is away right now, 8 centimeters. While that's heating up a little bit, I'm going to go get a pan of water. Pan of water. Put these up out of the way. Find my spatula. Everything should be about where it's supposed to be now. More or less. There's my spatulas. Okay, here's a couple of spatulas right here. This is the new Stu Macklin. I don't like it as well. It's thicker. So when you're trying to get a fresh bridge off, one that's not already coming off, this one's too thick. And I like this one a lot better. It's a much thinner spatula. But I actually don't use the spatula all that much. All I'm going to use it for is to put some water in there. So I'm going to let this heat a little bit. What I really like to do is a 3/4 inch chisel like this. And I've got another video showing this. I'm just repeating a lot of this. 3/4 inch chisel, you put it flat up against the bridge and you just tap it. This bridge is already coming off, so it's going to be easy. Should be easy to do. Let's get a little heat on it. I always get the question, you know, how long do you leave it? There's no set time. You just got to watch the bridge and get it hot. And when it starts smoking, like some bridges will smoke because they have oils in the wood or they have oils from your hand or whatever, you'll see it starting to smoke. And then you know it's hot. You know, you don't want to smoke it too much. You want to get it just about right. So you just constantly check it. So, one thing I do, after having it on there for just this amount of time, is check it because, like I said, this cardboard can hold moisture, you know, because the shop's humid. So I always look for moisture under the top here to see how the cardboard's doing. I don't want to steam moisture into the top, obviously. So pop your shields off and take a look at it. Make sure nothing weird's going on underneath there. And I just scooted the guitar a little bit in order to heat the other side. So, let's see what's going on here. That's a good looking bridge. I kind of suspect I'm going to fill the slot with ebony, scoot the bridge back a little bit, and then just recut the slot, cut it to a true vintage. You know, I could build a new bridge, but That's a good looking bridge, and I think I can hide that old saddle slot pretty good. Save a lot of time and effort and money on everybody's part. And there's nothing wrong with the bridge. It's not cracking or anything. So, okay, we're going to heat it. And I also have a heat gun around here someplace. And sometimes the heat gun is useful for, x-raying it and seeing how hot it actually is. But it doesn't really matter because, again, there's no set temperature. You can't say 400 degrees and the bridge magically comes off. It just depends on how long the glue has been on there, how much it's cured, lots of factors. So I rarely go with anything like that. I'm not sure when I use the heat gun for. I do sometimes, but just to kind of know what temperature it is. And it is just hot. I mean, it's 400 degrees or so. So, we're heating it. Pretty warm. I like to get the bridges pretty warm. I want that glue to release really clean as I can get it. So I'm not afraid of heating it. I'm going to heat it. This is real-time stuff again. This is why I don't charge by the hour. Can you imagine paying me to sit here and watch a heat lamp? Charge by the job. Really, the main charge this customer is going to get, glue in the X-brace, which is no big deal, $10. Full fret job, and then I don't know, half charge or a quarter charge or whatever for all the bridge work. Like I said, a repeat customer. I'm kind of merciful. Let's see how we're doing. I'm going to put a little water under there now and see how hot it is. Get this out of the way again. I tend to just leave it on and not turn it on and off. There's a little bit of moisture right there right now. So I'm going to get this one. I'm going to scoop up some water here. And I'm just going to push that water. Yeah, this thing's too thick. I hate this spatula. That's going to go on the shelf of things I never use. See, this one goes in so much easier. This water is just going to help the glue loosen up. And the spatula's going in there pretty easy. So I can tell the bridge is pretty warm. Yeah, it's coming off. The reason I don't use the spatula that much is because you can catch wood fibers and you pull the wood fibers off. And obviously I don't want to do that. So you just got to be kind of careful here. Go both sides. Camera went off on me. Oh, I've got it on battery, not plugged into the wall, so it shuts off after 15 minutes or so. It thinks I'm not doing anything because I'm not pushing buttons, but I am doing something. So, the treble side is off. I'm just heating up the bass side a little bit more and help it come off. It's going to come off pretty quick here. Find out what's going on underneath there. He had another guitar that somebody else had repaired. I think it was epoxy. Had a hole in the top. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. Someone else had worked on it. And I ended up chiseling out all the epoxy and building a whole brand new, almost a section of the top. All the way down to the X-braces and everything. And glued that to the new bridge plate. That one was a touch and go reconstruction. I think I had to do it twice to get it right, if I recall, if that's the guitar I'm thinking of. Seems to be holding up pretty good now. So I don't remember this one having a hole in the top. Let's see if it'll come off now. easily. A little more water. Getting there. Yeah, there he goes. We're coming in the front now. Oh, that's a dip right there. Look at that. The top is flexing right here. It's weak right here. Got some damage right there. Right on this side. I might end up putting a little cleat in there. A little more. See, I'm flexing the top. I saw this dimple right here. And I can push on that. And boy, that goes in. See, it doesn't right here. It's just a weak spot right there. I bet the camera shows that. I'll go inside too and push up. Definitely a weak spot. It feels good. I mean, I don't feel anything unusual in there. In other words, I don't feel any sanding, broken wood fibers, damage, nothing like that. It's just a weak spot in the wood. It is wood, you know. I'm going to be really tempted to put a little cleat in there to help support that. That could have contributed to that bridge coming off. The loose X brace is right back there behind it. Combination of that loose soft spot and the X brace being right there. It would not hurt to support that. Piece of spruce wouldn't hurt anything at all. It's fun getting guitars back after this amount of time, because then you see how your work is held up. And I don't think any of that is my problem. It's just that it's just fun to see them again after this time, you know. If there were any problems in the guitar, then scalloping and making the guitar lighter tends to make those problems more obvious. But like I said, it's nothing that I did in there, because it's actually on the complete opposite side of the X brace, so it's not a problem with me taking the bridge plate off or anything. It's just a soft spot in the top. And I'll get the mirror in there again and take a look and see if I see anything. Heat. Pull that heat over to the center just a little. This one's not smoking, so it's not a very oily bridge. We wait. I'm impatient. I want to see the bridge off. But patience, patience. Yeah, we're about that far away. Try not to stare at the heat lamp too much. I thought I could hear it ticking. Bet that'd be the water boiling in it. Yeah. I see some wood fibers right there, so I'm going to be careful here. Pull it off. Nice. Came out pretty clean. Got just a little wood on the back, which is not a big deal because we'll take care of that. Okay, so I like to set the bridges down on the bench and clamp them, which you can't quite see over here, but I'm just clamping it to the bench while it cools. That just keeps everything nice and flat. So I can get my heat lamp out of the way now. Unclip, move it over here. And nobody told me who this was up here, this sticker. So no bonus points, no soup for you guys. And that's a significant little belly going on there. Hump, rather, it's not a belly. A belly would be more of an even thing. Definite hump right here. So, I really want to pull that bridge plate off. The heck with the pickups. I'll deal with them. So let's see what happens when we push on it. It's pretty stiff. I mean, it's not moving much. But again, you know, if I use the bad Luthier's mercantile glue, that's a weak glue. It's pretty soft. Pretty soft top right there. Okay, so the bridge is off, and now I'm going to take that bridge plate off. It's the thing to do. Get everything nice and flat again, and I can have access to that loose brace on both sides of it, which is probably our main culprit. I think, because of the softness of that top, I'm going to put a slightly bigger bridge plate on it to go ahead and come back a little bit, and I'm going to bevel it. Did I bevel this one? I did not bevel that one. Okay. So that was before I started beveling them. If you go look at my video on bridge plates, you'll see that I talk about how I bevel the rear edge of it to prevent a stress riser. Martin does not bevel, but a lot of small builders do, and I do, and I guess I started shortly after this one, because this one is not beveled on the back. It's just a square bridge plate. So I want to pull that bridge plate, I'm going to put a little bit larger one in there, and I'm going to bevel the edges to prevent a stress riser here. That's how you can get away with using the larger bridge plate, but you'll bevel it so it really kind of blends into the top a lot better, and I don't see this kind of issue ever. I rarely see this kind of issue, but because that top is soft, even with the bridge plate in there, that's flexing more than I would like it, and this here is definitely flexing. That's weird. So that's going to get a little spruce plate on it. That's just too weak right there. It almost makes me wonder if there's been a lot of hand pressure. I don't know. I can't remember if the owner plays with a lot of hand pressure here, but it fits perfectly right there. So I'll do that later. Let's shut this off. That's just an idea what I do when I'm looking at a guitar, and it's got some problems to it. My thought process is what I'm going to do here. It's going to be a pain in the butt taking that bridge plate off. It's not a pain in the butt. It's my bridge plate, so, you know, but it needs to be done. The biggest pain in the butt is going to be trying to save those K&K pickups. And if I can, I can. And if I can't, I can't, you know. I just feel like that plate has not failed, but maybe this guitar would benefit from a bigger plate, a different kind of plate. Plus, I want to get that top flat. Maybe the glue's cracked a little bit, you know. Maybe it got hot. Maybe it's that old Luthier's mercantile glue that didn't stick very good. I just don't like the way it looks right now. I'm not going to glue a bridge back onto this loopy top here. It comes up like this and dips. Which you can see, you get a straight edge right here. You guys can see that. And you can see, look at that gap right there, you see? Right here on the front. So you've got a rise back here and a drop in the front. It's not over scalloped. That's not the issue. There's something else going on there. And that's a big gap. So if I put a new bridge on, it's going to be sitting at this angle. And I just don't like that at all. So, pretty flat over here, see? Pretty flat on the treble side. And it gets worse as you go across. Mostly due to that loose X brace, I'm sure. But again, if I get that plate off of there, I can access the brace. I can get it glued down good. Get that top flat again. Start all over with a fresh bridge plate. And we should have it in good shape then. Bridge is going to move back maybe just 1/8 of an inch. Not much. So there's not going to be too bad of a scar right up here. And it's the thing to do. After I get all that done, after I get the new frets on it, then it'll be time for a neck reset. And it won't need a lot, you know. It's just going to need a little bit, so no big deal. And he says I did a neck reset on it, and if I did a really, really good job of hiding the holes in there. Normally I can tell, you know, my neck resets and everything. So let's see. Tight. Still tight. I don't see my marks in there. The marks I'm looking for are the holes that I drill to steam it out. And you can already see just a tiny little bit of that hole right there. I guess here's what we can do. Let's just do this real quick. Since I'm going to refret it. Let's just pull this fret. No, I don't think there's no holes here. I don't think I did a neck reset on this one. See, there's no holes at all right here in the fingerboard where I would access it with the steam needle. No, I don't think so. So, that's good to know. Probably I thought it was good enough to go with and, you know, didn't do a reset on it. And again, I could be wrong. I could get it off. But when I take it off, I'm going to see my shims. And I will know for sure because, you know, I have a certain type of shim. You'd recognize your own work. But I'm not seeing holes here. I did a pretty good job of getting that out from underneath there. But if there's a little bit of rosette hidden into there, then I know I didn't do it, because if I did it, I would have got perfectly round right there. And I don't think so. That looks a little bit square edge. It looks like I chipped the rosette out while the fingerboard was on there. So. Okay, got my work cut out. Bridge face coming off. K and K's are coming off first. There we go. See you later.